This weekend we have 3 Army Painter Mega Paint sets up for grabs. Get your comments in on any of the Hobby Weekend live blog posts on beastofwar.com for your chance to win. Hi everybody, so we are closing in on the final day of the Hobby Weekend, but before we go, I want to actually take you through and show you some of the almost completed forces, some of the completed forces that are going to be going out on the tables whenever everybody gets home. They have done fantastic work on these, so let's get started. If we look down here, we have one of the Undead faction, which is looking really, really striking. I'm amazed at how many different types of Undead we are seeing this weekend, and the Carrion Lancer just looks fantastic. Moving further along, we have one of the human factions here, and they've just came up an absolute treat. I love the fact that every last one of the soldiers has freehanding done on their shield, and even the Rune Golem has it down on the front cloth here. It's really nice, and the Rune Golem just feels so heavy. Moving up to the next one, we have a really cool ethereal version of the Undead. So it's very pale and ghostly, and it feels kind of Lord of the Rings to me, and it really works well. Next along the lines, we have a very classical style of the human faction. Nice stoic blue. They look like the good guys, and I think they're going to play great on the table for the guys that have painted them. Next up, we have the classic Undead. Now, this army is not quite finished yet, but the main infantry are just about done. With the Army Painter method, they have came up an absolute treat. You know, these skeleton warriors look as if they've just risen out of the ground and they're just ready to go and kill somebody. And finally, we have a great Undead faction. Again, a different color palette again. It has just turned out fantastically. I think the guys are doing an absolute blinding job here. And of course, I have to put one last one down on the table just so we can see it again. The Maracas of Doom from Tim. So guys, what we'll do now is we will go away, we'll leave it for a little while, let everybody else sort of catch up, and when we come back, that will be us closing out the day. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching the boot camp, but we will be back very, very shortly in this video to tell you about a few more of them. Hi everybody, we are back to show off the rest of the armies that have been built and painted this weekend. This has been absolutely crazy. So let's get down onto the table. First up, we've got some beautiful Undead. They've got a real nice Skeletor feel to them. I am absolutely digging this force, and I can't wait to see what their owner does with them on the table another time. Moving further down, we have the human faction. The Golem in this one really jumps out at me because it has just been based white. Taken through that wash step, it looks like limestone. You know, this thing has came out of the White Cliffs of Dover, if you know what I mean. You've got beautiful white stallions, really, really nicely done metals, and I think the Army Painter method has really just been really well picked up this weekend. Moving on. Another human faction. This is one of the more classical blue things, but seeing that golem at the back with that red glow and that nice deep stone effect really, really works well. Next up, we have more of the Undead. Again, it's an ethereal sort of feel. The person has actually focused more on the actual Carrion Lancer than anything else, but I think that was well worth their time to actually do, because those big central pieces are really what you want to stand out on the tabletop. Next up, this has got to be one of my favourite armies from the weekend. This is actually Gareth, who you'll know from Mythos, has painted these. The work he's done on the shields, everything is really nice, and that nice Hydra turquoise that he has done, shaded down beautifully, and has came back up with just a little touch of a highlight. This has worked absolutely brilliantly. Last army that we're going to show off is another Undead one. Again, this is as close to complete as any of the rest of them. A little bit of a mix-up on the actual cloak colorings, which really, really works well. It makes them stand out and pop off the table a little bit more. And that Carrion Lancer just looks down, dirty and nasty, just the way you want it to do. Now, I think we're going to close up for the day. We'll finish off the live blog. Hello, Lloyd.
What about me? What about my non-finished army?
We'll show it off on a weekend or in the future. Hey, you work here. We can show your stuff off later. Calm down, my son.
What about my horses? I'm not finished yet.
Again, you work here. We'll show it off later on a weekender. Guys, hopefully you have enjoyed all of the content this weekend. I would like to give a big thank you to everybody who turned up. Big thank you to the guys at Army Painter, and a big thank you to everybody at home who has been watching along, getting your comments in and engaging with this one, because it's been great. Now, don't forget, we still have those prizes up for grabs. We have 3 Army Painter Mega Paint sets, 1 for each day of the live blog. So get your comments in on all of them to get your best chance of winning. We'll move on here. Thank you very much, and we will see you at the next boot camp. This weekend we have 3 Army Painter Mega Paint sets up for grabs. Get your comments in on any of the Hobby Weekend live blog posts on beastofwar.com for your chance to win.